What's up everyone, and welcome back to Project X Talk. Today I'm coming at you with another pass or play. Gonna be a little different, this is our non-review show, if I do say so, along with Game Pass and Review, where I know we say these are reviews, but really we're just giving you our impressions on the title, trying to get you to experience more games. And so today I want to take a little bit and talk to you about Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Now, if you've listened to the podcast, you've probably heard me go on and on about Mass Effect, how it's the best trilogy of all time, how much I loved the Legendary Edition, how I 100%ed the first two and nearly did the third one, and I would have done the entire Legendary Edition, and I still might at one point, but that requires an insanity playthrough, and I really don't have time for that right now. So, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Why should you play it? Because obviously I'm going to say you should play it. Everyone should play it. It's the quintessential trilogy in gaming, especially if you're an RPG fan. So let's start with Mass Effect. Back in the day, we all know that it's well regarded. The first one is considered a little, buggy, slower pace, more RPG elements than the other two, which really adopted a more action-focused approach. They dumbed down the RPG elements, really simplified the skill trees, the level up system, in favor of more combat. You can sprint, you can get behind cover, kind of turn into like a third-person shooter with RPG elements added on instead of RPG with shooter elements added on, like the first one. So, Legendary Edition comes out, and this game looks gorgeous. I played it on the Series X, 1440p, 120 FPS on my OLED TV, so I got no complaints about how this game looks. You can tell BioWare went above and beyond with this. They really did take what we loved about the original. They made everything look so much better. The colors, the lighting, the resolution, obviously, because these were on the 360 and we didn't have 4K back then. So visual wise, the game is phenomenal. Now, does it hold up? One of my main concerns when I picked this up was that I loved the original trilogy so much that the three in my mind couldn't be beat. I was worried I would not love them nearly as much, and it's safe to say if you have that concern, because I've only ever played through them once, you will not be disappointed. You will probably be blown away. I forgot how amazing Mass Effect 1 is. Going through it, I was like, wow, I love these characters. I do feel like I interact with them a lot less in Mass Effect 1, like going around the ship. Now, obviously you can, but it doesn't really affect you as much as, like, say, Mass Effect 2, where going around talking to them gets you their loyalty missions. So, I think that Mass Effect 1 is brilliant. From a storytelling perspective, there's nothing wrong with this game. It still holds up today, the story is still engaging, all the characters are fantastic, the world building is second to none in the Mass Effect universe. You get the lore behind every race and character, you get this backstory, Anderson will tell you all about his previous war, his war endeavors. It really is the fact that you can drop in, not know anything, and they will build out the world. You will really feel like you're engaged in this military conflict, that you gotta save the universe, that you're the only one that can do it. So, Mass Effect 1, I would say it does have some downsides. It's not all rose-colored glasses, everything's perfect, it's still the best trilogy ever. The downsides for me are, one, getting into cover is better because you couldn't do it in the first one, the original. You literally just had to stand behind a wall. They have now added where you walk up and it'll enter cover. That's fine. It doesn't work the best the entire time, but it is still good. It's good enough for Mass Effect 1. The shooting is much improved. The gunplay is way better. You can certainly have a much better experience now in 2021 if you're going off modern game standards. The Mako controls was something they said that they updated. I still think it controls like ass, so don't expect to hop in and expect it to be like a zip it around, but it's fine. You can salvage it. So Mass Effect 1 for me, I think the RPG elements and the storytelling is really where it excels, and I would implore, if you've played it, if you haven't played it, just jump into Mass Effect 1, and if you are not gripped by the story, like, recognize this is a game from 2007, put that away. Yes, it is remastered, they updated some of the systems to make it a little more modern, but it is still a game from over 10 years ago. So recognize that, but just dive into the story, and if you are not sold, then you can stop playing. But continue on, beat it. It's not that long. I 100%ed it in like 18 hours, so it really isn't that big of a time sink. Then go to Mass Effect 2, which, as I've said, Mass Effect 2 is undoubtedly the pinnacle of this trilogy, of gaming, of a gaming experience. They make everything from Mass Effect 1 better. The storytelling is still there, still phenomenal. They make your decisions more impactful. They add loyalty missions for your crew. Really makes it feel like you get to know them, you get to see where they came from, what they're about, you grow closer to them, and by the end, when you have to do the suicide mission, spoilers, you actually care about them. You don't want any of them to die, so you do everything in your power to make sure none of them die. That means choosing the right roles, upgrading your ship, doing everything you need to do, because this is your crew and you're not going to let them die. I mean, from a gameplay perspective, cover-based is much better. You can get in and out of cover. They make the abilities a lot better in Mass Effect 2. You can assign them to triggers, and it's really, they take everyone from Mass Effect 1 and improve it. I wish I could say the same about Mass Effect 3, because in my opinion, Mass Effect 3 kind of took a step back. They kind of dumbed it down too much. I don't like the way you sprint in Mass Effect 3. You look silly, first of all. It's a horrible animation. But they made it a little too action-focused, I think. I don't think it controls nearly as well as Mass Effect 2 does. They do improve the ability to use your abilities. They make it a lot easier, taking it one step further. But for something about Mass Effect 3, really, I was always a defender of Mass Effect 3. I was like, it's not nearly as bad as everyone said. It's a great game, and it is a great game. It does kind of suffer out of the 3 in this trilogy. I would say it's my least favorite after replaying. I don't think the character interactions are nearly as good. I don't think the RPG elements are anywhere near as good. I don't think the story is anywhere near as good. It's really kind of all over the place at points. You know, I get it. You're trying to gather everyone to go fight the Reapers, but it really does seem like they took a roundabout way and often have you going on things where you're like, well, I'm wasting my time. The Reapers are coming to invade the galaxy. And the ending. Listen, the ending still isn't as bad as everyone says it is. Yes, you do still have to choose between the colors, and you still get, you know, a little cinematic, but it's really not that bad. You do get a satisfying enough ending, and I'm excited for Mass Effect 4, but from a story-wise, from a story perspective, Mass Effect 3 is the weakest. There's no doubt in my mind that it is the weakest of the 3, but it's still good. It's still something you should experience at least once, and if you don't like it, fine, just play Mass Effect 2 and pretend it ends there, or wait for Mass Effect 4 where maybe they retcon stuff. Who knows? We're still waiting to see, but I think everyone needs to play Mass Effect at least once through. If you are a fan, pick up the Legendary Edition. It's on sale right now. You know, obviously you could be watching this video at any point, so it might not actually be on sale right now, but it's been dropping in price. It's like $40 all the time right now, so go pick it up. You will experience some of the best characters, and the characters are actually something that I found myself flip-flopping. My original opinions, I went in and I was like, this is going to be my party for the whole thing. I know what characters I like, I know what characters I don't like. And I often found myself switching, and I was like, wow, I remember liking Ashley, and now I don't like Ashley. Or I remember liking Garrus way more than I do. I mean, he's still the OG, you know, he's still amazing, but I didn't use him at all. My Tally, I fell in love with Tally. She's amazing. The Krogans, always been my boys. I like Rex a lot. I don't care for Grunt nearly as much as I did back in my teenage years. So it was really this situation where if you've played it before, you may find yourself being like, well, that decision doesn't sit right with me anymore, even though I made it my previous playthrough, or this character I don't really like anymore compared to when I originally played. So I think that is another beauty of this game. It does have replayability. You can make different decisions. You can go down different paths. You can, enter relationships with different characters. In my opinion, Mass Effect is something everyone should experience. I'm not even like, if I had to rate it, obviously it's a 10 out of 10. Like, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is absolutely phenomenal. It's hands down one of the best games, best trilogies that I've played this year, let alone ever. So I don't think giving it a rating will really do anything. You're either looking at it and being like, all right, I'm sold on this, or I'm not sold on this. I'm telling you, if you're an RPG fan, go pick this up. It's BioWare's masterpiece. They need to reclaim this form. Oh, what else? Is there anything else I've forgotten about Mass Effect Legendary Edition? I played it. I've almost 100%ed it. Are there any things I don't care for that I haven't mentioned? I can't put my finger on. I'm doing this all off script, guys. It really is just a passion for me and my love of Mass Effect. I do hope they add back in multiplayer. Multiplayer was not something I ever did, but I do want to check it out in this remastered form. There's rumors that it's coming back, so I hope we get to see that in some way, shape, or form. That is something that I will hop back into immediately, and this is a game that I'm so glad I picked it up, even though I was originally like, well, I don't think I will, because I can tell I'm going to do an Insanity run at some point, down the road where there's absolutely no games to play. I'll hop in, I will play this. It's going to sit on my Xbox like Master Chief Collection does, because you never know when you're going to want to play Halo, and you never know when you're going to want to play Mass Effect. So, again, pick it up. I highly recommend it. And Project X Talk, like I said, 10 out of 10. I don't think giving it a rating even does it justice. I don't think you can really just put a number on it and be like, well, this is how good the game is. It's really something you should go experience for yourself. So with that, I will leave you, and thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Again, Muffinmon, you follow me on Twitter, Project X Talk, follow us on Twitter, and we will see you guys for the podcast. Thanks. Bye.